The typography cheat sheet is probably going to be your best friend if that's interesting to you. And that contains all of the things that you need to learn when it comes to naming elements. So when you need to know what is a stem, what is a leg, what is a slab or whatever, that would help you. I personally don't know most of them. I know the one that makes sense and that have a use case, but other than that, I don't. So the one that are important to learn are these values, the xheight, cap line, like baseline. The xheight is the one that you will hear the most, the cap line as well, which is based on your capital letters. All of that are some of the things that you need to understand in order to then be able to find the right font for your design. So going back to one of the things that we said when we talked about AI and content generation by machines, when someone has the skill to communicate with the highly specific words to a chatbot, the chatbot knowing these highly specific words will then result in highly specific answers that are really what the person wanted. When you don't really know what you're looking for and you just say, oh, I want a font that is good for a newspaper, can't really give you anything because nowadays we have sans serif newspaper, you also have serif newspaper, you have slab newspaper, just depends on era, the points, the anything. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, if you go to this website called Creative Market, they have a category called fonts, and that alone will give you anything you need to learn typography, which is you look at what the people that have created the font have used to present the font. What are the images that the creator that is marketing their font have used? They have used a vintage, like kitsch, vintage type of feel, and that gives you a bit of an idea of how the creator wanted you to use their font. That's the first one. And then if you go to something like a bit different, Joe Wright is also a bit different. This is viable with typeface. That is used for magazine, title, posters. So all of these things just give you an idea of how the creator wanted you to use the thing. And that's about it on how to learn fonts. Like you go there, you see how the creator said, okay, that this thing is going to be mainly used for notebooks, messages, tote bags, decoration, things like this. And now you know this font that is handwritten, which seems to be the main tag that they want, that is used for that type of design. And you just need to feed yourself with the most amount of fonts to get a bit of a good idea or bad idea of how you need to use things. There is no such thing as good font or bad font. Once again, Comic Sans is a great font. It's just overused and wrongly used. That's about it. This may not work, like that font specifically will probably not work for your jewelry store. This is way too German era and Renaissance scripture, and it will not work for you. But if you get something else, like in scripts, like things like this will probably work because it's fine, it's refined, it is luxurious, and that makes sense. And there is no bad font. It's just, does it work for the use case? And then do you like it or do you not like it? If it does work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Comic Sans was made for comics. So if you use that type for comics, it's good. If you use it for physics test, it's not good. And that's about it. Does it work for your design? Does it not work for your design? You need to ask yourself, is it what I need right now? Is it not what I need right now on the thing that I'm trying to convey? When you don't really know what's the sentiment that you have behind fonts, it's just like you go in these websites and you look at what the user that created the font decided to showcase their font. So here I have dreamy gradient, very subtle shapes, very thin geometric shapes. Do you have that in your design? If that's the case, maybe that's the great font for you. If you don't fit with that vibe that the creator decided to go with, maybe it's not gonna work. Maybe it will, but we don't really know. You need to test it out. But fonts is the most complicated thing that you can learn, and I cannot teach you anything other than feed your fucking face. That's about it. No need for a full Friday to teach you fonts. There's nothing that will make you better with fonts initially. The most important thing that you need to have is pairing and spacing. So if you understand layout and the space in between a title and a subtitle and a body text and all of that, which is technically the same thing as spacing in between a big rectangle and a smaller rectangle and a smaller, thinner rectangle. That's it.